a conservative, then you are somehow an Uncle Tom, you're a horrible person, you're a demon. What a bunch of crap, but it's been going on for hundreds of years, and it's really time to put a stop to it. So
time to put a stop to it, people. When are we going to put a stop to it? When are you going to quit allowing mainstream media to tell you how to feel, how to react, what to think? Because that's what it is. And then people want to just keep regurgitating these fake news headlines and fake news, fake stories, to combat their ignorance. I mean, for real, man. Like this is sad, man. This is really sad. And this is a white and black issue. There's just as many white people, bashing Trump than there is black people. There's an overwhelming amount of black people. I think they said 90% of the black race is in support of the Democrats. They got 90% of the vote. And he still won. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Democrats got 90% of the vote from the black race, and they still lost. Donald Trump got more black votes than Mitt Romney did or John McCain. I don't remember when those two were running for president. I don't remember anyone calling them racist. Yeah, people might have called John McCain old, and you know what I'm saying? And, they might have, looked at them as being the op. But wasn't too many, they're racist coming out. So what makes Trump racist? The media. What makes him a bad person? The media. Because the evidence that I've shown, the evidence that I'm being shown is telling me the exact opposite. It's telling me the exact opposite. But the media only show you what they want you to know. So any black person that comes out and supports, the slogan, Make America Great, is a coon. But do you realize and understand the meaning behind it? Do you understand what he means about making America great and how he means to rid it of its corruption and to bring down and to stop some of the atrocities that's been happening for hundreds of years? But y'all can't look back that far. Whenever y'all say whenever America's great, y'all take it back to the 60s and the 50s and, slavery. That's as far back as y'all take it. When these jokers been doing this shit for over 100 years. It's been a recipe of disaster for a very long time. And all of these prior figures were just descendants of bloodlines of people who created it and started the plot, and they're just finishing it. When we gonna wake up, man?
Black lives have never, ever, ever mattered to the Democrat Party. Black votes always have.
The Democrat Party have established a house of token niggers. Token niggers.
Democrat Party, they want us to permanently be in a state of fear, racism, white racist Republicans.
They just put a black person in the White House for 8 years. They didn't do anything for us.
Here we go.
Are we such punks that we are so scared to try something different?
The Democrats are very nervous. They do nothing for you, and that was supposed to be automatic. Not anymore.
I'm curious, is this really about the politics? How do we know this is real?
It's legit.
You guys have a beautiful home and a lot of family photos.
Yes. A lot of people said that my family was brainwashing me, and that really bothered me.
I've had people that have known me for 7 to 10 years that have texted me and told me that I have a mental illness.
You ready? Moving out.
For my sister at one time to say that you're a traitor.
A traitor to who?
A traitor to my race.
How do y'all feel about black conservatives?
Y'all house Negroes. Y'all just trying to please this white man.
These are lost, disturbed, self-loathing people.
Notice that all of...
Which is what a lot of y'all think. Y'all make the assumption that anytime a black man is supporting a white man, it's to appease to the white population or to appease that white man. I can't just be for humans? Like, why do I have to be subjective and just think about race? I can't just be a normal human being that just wants, the better for normal human beings. Why does it have to always be a white and black thing? Like, are we really that shallow-minded? That is all you can see. That is all you can see, is the fact that I'm a black man supporting a white man.
Those youngsters had caps on.
So I think some people assume this is a play for votes. Well, I haven't changed, and I'm not gonna change.
Voting for Trump is not about being a Republican. Make America Great Again is for us, too.
What does it make you feel like when you wear it?
It makes me feel like a proud American.
You have to defend why you voted for Trump.
Hillary Clinton. That's who they wanted us to vote for over Trump.
Just because you are black, you don't have to be a Democrat.
I am a black gay conservative, and I am proud of that.
We have to start moving like free agents.
What do we got to lose?
The people in this room are going to change America.
And that's what it's about for me. I'm trying to change America, bruh. I don't want a better position in this existing system. I don't want to step up. I want to rid it from the ground up and start over. And my man Trump is leading the way. And if you don't believe it, do the research. Like I said, this presentation ain't to, I'm not a political dude. I'm not gonna say I don't care about policies and the politics, but to a certain degree. To a certain degree. Like I said, every president has an agenda. Every politician has an agenda. You know what I'm saying? But the reason why I bang with Trump is that his pockets aren't being padded by no interest groups, no lobbyist groups, no entities that are basically paying him to lead him in the direction that they want him to go. Trump is coming in and he's exposing the racists, he's exposing the crooks, and he's not only exposing them, but he's taking them down. I mean, how can you not respect that, man? Like, for real. How can you not respect that? If you can look past race, look past the illusion that the mainstream media gave you as far as him as a person, and just look at the record, look at the things he's done, look at the things he's doing, and listen to what he's saying. That's the biggest part for me. No one is paying attention to what this man is saying. He's been telling us from the gate of what he's going to do, and he's doing it. That's a fact. So we're going to get back to that. I'm going to get into the actual documentary later in the presentation. But I want to touch some more points on Donald Trump, man, because like I said, y'all ain't paying attention. It's hard for me to fathom that if people would actually put their pride aside, put their emotions aside, and even put to aside their beliefs or their preconceived beliefs of who he is as a person, and put all that to the side and really look at the information for what you're being shown and not what you're being told. That's the biggest thing for me. I'm a critical thinker. So don't tell me it, show me it. Don't tell me what to think. Show me it and let me make the decision and determination on my own. You're not going to have me sitting here, castrating this man, calling him a racist for some shit that happened when I wasn't even born. I'm smarter than that. So we're going to get into some of the points on why I support Donald Trump. As I spoke and as I touched pretty much throughout this whole discussion, his goal and one of his main goals was to come in and to disrupt this corrupt system and take it down. And he's done that. And I'm going to get into, in later parts of this, I'm going to get into, an in-depth breakdown of exactly what he's doing, from the amount of arrests to the actual people being arrested, the investigations, the unsealed indictments. You name it, man. You name it. There's never been a president in this lifetime that's come in and potentially, You know, it's going to take out hundreds of thousands, man. Hundreds of thousands of corrupt people from your famous, you seen the documentary, from your famous celebrities to former presidents, politicians. Yeah, they all going down. And who's leading that charge? Donald J. Trump. So I'm a coon because I appreciate that. That's what this country needs. We need somebody that actually had the balls to do it. But he's a racist. He is one of only 3 presidents in our lifetime that have the balls to say it and actually go through with it. I mean, I can't hit that point enough because it's the truth. He's not a politician. He's a businessman. And I think this is the biggest point that I'm trying to make, is he's not a politician. Y'all are looking at him for face value as being a politician. He's not a public speaker. He can give a damn about what you think about him. He can't be bought. He's not, controlled by any type of interest groups or lobbyist groups or any of that. You know what I'm saying? He is real. He's a businessman, though. Do you know that man runs 500 businesses simultaneously, all while being the president of the United States of America? Can you think about that? Could you even fathom the intelligence and the IQ and the ability to get things done a person would have to be able to do something like that? To have 500, you don't come to the point in your life where you're running 500 businesses, 250 of them that use your name, being a moron, what do people try to say? Incompetent, or whatever you try to say, because he ain't up there selling you dreams. He ain't up there reading from a teleprompter. He ain't up there giving off a false hope, a false sense of relatability. He don't give a fuck about any of us, for real. I'm not gonna say that because he do. I'm saying he don't care what you think. He know that Sheeble gonna be Sheeble, so he don't really care about trying to appease to a certain particular group of people. He's in there to get it done. And all the mainstream media showed you his whole election run was that he was a racist, and the people that follow him was racist, and they would show you little snippets of certain interviews, or not interviews, but certain rallies he was having, and they would show you snippets, and they would give you a little, they would basically make the stage that it was nothing but a bunch of racist white men and women, you know what I mean, supporting Donald Trump. And as I go on in that documentary I was just playing, you'll see clearly that there's more black people voting for Donald Trump than you think. There's more black people voting for Donald Trump than you think. And more than what the media is showing you. He's exposing all the sheep and wolves clothing. You know what I mean? So these are just the first 4 points. And for me, that's enough. That's enough. Because being real and not being able to be controlled, that's huge for me. Because now I feel like I can trust you. I can trust when I know that you can't be bought and you can't be coerced and bullied into saying or doing certain things. Integrity is top on my list, okay? So the man has integrity, okay? He vowed to destroy the system, and we've seen overwhelming signs of him doing that, okay? Many different levels, all right? He's the only one that had the balls to do it. We're talking big nuts. To take down the sinister deep state, the sinister Illuminati, New World Order. Big nuts. Do you realize the magnitude of that? And the courage someone would have to step into them shoes? He's not a politician. So I'm not sitting there looking at him as trying to sell me a something that I don't need or something that I don't want. He's for the people, man. He said it many times before. He's for America. But people are so small-minded and shallow-minded that all they can see is race. That's all you can see. His aggressive apprehension and arrest of human and child sex trafficking rings. I think the statistics is he arrested 10,000 people, 10,000 child sex predators and human traffickers or whatever. Or no, actually, the 10,000 was child predators. He arrested 10,000 child predators in his first 4 years to Obama's 8 in 8 years. Not only did he surpass his in the first 4, but he beat about another 2,000. So he sent a message very early of what his agenda is. None of the powers that own the mainstream media funded or supported his presidential run, and that's a fact. Do the research. All the top mainstream media organizations and companies funded Hillary Clinton. That man used his own money to run for president. How can you not respect that? How can you not respect that? We talk about status quo, it's all the same. He has shown me nothing but being of adversary to the status quo. Nothing I'm being shown right now is showing me that Trump is a part of the deep state. Nothing I'm being shown right now is showing me that Trump isn't doing what he said he would do. So at what point am I supposed to start, or what point am I supposed to give up the race theory? I'm just trying to figure it out. I mean, how many points and facts do I have to put out here to show my reasoning for support, for you guys to understand, and for you to give up the race card, because it's getting old, for real. Like, stop living in the 60s. I refuse to live in the 60s. I'm not living in the 60s. Okay, that's a enslaved mind state. I'm not doing it. He can't be bought. He's unpredictable. He's uncontrollable. And he can't be imitated or coerced. The only people he answers to is the American people. And that's a fact. That's a fact, man. That is a fact. Nobody can control this man. He says whatever the hell he wants to do. He's not intimidated by fake news. They done try to assassinate his character, his family, everything, man. And he's done nothing but stand tall to all of it and talk mad head on everybody while he's doing it. He ain't up there reading no script. He telling them like it is, man. How can you not respect that? How can you not respect that? Why? Because you're so used to the charismatic charm and the false hope and we're gonna keep praying and things are gonna get better. But those are the exact devils that are orchestrating it. It's so easy to just lead you and have you thinking in any direction that they want. They got you really believing that the Democrats is for the people or the Democrats is for black people. It couldn't be further from the truth. But it's going to come out. You're going to find out. You're going to realize. Unfortunately, it'll be too late. Your illusion is going to be destroyed. You know, a lot of you feelings is going to be hurt. You know, you're going to have a lot of distrust, a lot of anger, and that's okay. Because I was there 8 years ago. All right, I'm now fully out of that. I'm fully, because there's levels to it. You know what I mean? First, you're going to be upset, angry. Then it's going to spark. You know what I'm saying? You're awakening, and this, that, and the third. what I'm saying? It's a progression. So I've progressed to, becoming settled and with, receiving this information. It doesn't affect me emotionally like it did 8 or 10 years ago. So you guys got a lot of catching up to do. Unfortunately, you won't catch up until it's too late, because some of y'all are so brainwashed, you're not going to believe it until it starts happening, which is fine. Because like I told a good friend of mine, I said there's no point of putting all this pressure on yourself and trying to, expose the truth. Like, it's happening. It's no longer a conspiracy theory. It's no longer a theory that could potentially happen. It's happening. Trump said it. He said it. Within the next couple weeks, expect this information to come out, and it's going down. And like I said, a lot of y'all's feelings is going to be hurt. Some of y'all most famous role models that y'all look up to, that y'all thought was just the greatest people in this world, or devils. Some of the most evil, satanic, child, what do I want to call them? Child predators. That's what they are. Child predators, man. None of the political super PACs can touch him. Not the lobbyists, big pharma, insurance companies, or the Wall Street finance. And that's a fact. None of them are supporting him. None of them can buy him out. Do you know how much money big pharma's losing right now by Trump doing what he's doing as far as cutting the funding off to the WHO? Basically allowing states to open back up, basically leading the charge to get everything open back up. I mean, he's going against the agenda that's been in the agenda for decades. Flat out. And do y'all think that that's happening by accident? No. The man was put in the position that he's in for this very reason. That's what y'all are failing to understand. None of this is happening by accident. So with his intelligence and his money, he had the right people in his ear. Like, look, Trump, this is what's about to go down. You're the only guy that can get it done. Period. That's it. That's what it is. So I'm still stuck in trying to figure out, should I still be racist? Should I still not, with all this information coming out, should I still not support this man? Democrats feed you hope, Trump feeds you results, and that's a fact. The man had the economy booming in a direction it hasn't been in over 100 years, man. The man's a businessman. He putting my young black brothers back to work. You know what I'm saying? You got to start somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, but for me, it's larger than that. I'm not. When people try to say, oh, well, prove it, what has he done for you? It's not always about me. I'm not looking for it to always be about me. Sometimes some things have to happen from the top in order for it to trickle down to the bottom. We at the bottom. So things ain't going to just trickle down overnight. You got to disrupt it from the ground up. And that's what he's doing. He's taking them down, and the solution's going to be, or the change is going to come after the fact. You can't dismantle the system and rebuild within that same system. So in order for us to get the change that we need and for it to trickle down to all racial groups, he got to take it down completely and then build it back up. So his first 4 years, trust me, believe, his last couple months, or last half a year is going to be him dismantling the system. These jokers is going to jail. It's all documented. This ain't rumors. Y'all still living in a conspiracy theory. Y'all are so conditioned to believe anything that you don't understand or know is a conspiracy theory. It's not a conspiracy theory. This stuff is documented, highly documented. Check the wiki links. They've been holding on to this for years, man. For years. And wait till this information come out. I'm telling y'all, man. I can't wait, yo. I can't wait. I swear to God, I can't wait. The system don't want him. People within his own cabinet don't want him. And the lying politicians don't want him. The media is trying to destroy him. Everybody's against him. He got people in his own cabinet that don't like him. That's giving him false information, bad advice, this, that, and the third. Because he's not a politician. He's not a medical doctor. So that's why you hire people and put them in place to help advise you. And they are failing him. So what has he done? He got rid of them too. Come on, man. That's G shit, man. Excuse my language. I'm trying to keep this as... I'm not a professional. That's another thing. I don't really care how y'all take it. Like, we grown. Like, I don't... This my platform ain't for kids. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to bring it how I want to bring it, man. So, you know, if you want to be soft and sensitive, then, you know, by all means. But, you know, y'all not going to silence me and tell me how to talk, all right? I'm going to be myself. But, yeah, so, I mean, what more could you not like about a person that got the whole world against him? Literally, got the whole system against him. You know how powerful this system is? You know how much money and time and preparation has gone until this moment? And what has he done? He has been the biggest roadblock. He was put in this position to dismantle it, to stop it, to prevent it. And that's what he's doing. And I told people, like I said on my Facebook, I said Donald Trump's going to go down as being one of the greatest presidents of our lifetime. And that's a fact. We'll be telling our kids 20, 30 years from now, or our kids will be telling their kids about living through this time in this era when Donald J. Trump saved America. When these information come out about how Obama sold us to the Chinese Communist Party, treason, there's a lot of there's a lot of information coming out, man. That's all I'm going to say. You know what I mean? That's all I'm going to say. And I'm still, you know, I can indulge in this area right now that I'm in as far as where I'm at with it because, like I said, I've been studying this stuff for so long, you know, I can just go off the whim and talk about this stuff. Now, the new revelations, I'm still, you know what I'm saying? I'm still in the lab. I'm still dissecting it, you know what I mean? So I'm hoping to have a latter part of this presentation where I can break it down a little bit more thoroughly. But we're just going off on why I support them, all right? It's not, you know, I'm not trying to convince anybody or persuade anybody or do any of that. All I'm trying to do is get you to understand why I support him. People say, how could you support Donald Trump? Why do you support Donald Trump? So I'm showing you why I support Donald Trump. I'm showing you that it's not just no superficial, perception. I'm a coon and just be, you know, go against the grain because I don't like whoever and I'm just want to know. I'm someone who took the time to research and to dig deep about 6 to 8 months ago. I dug deep on Donald Trump, and this is the conclusion that I've come up with today. And it's been about 2, maybe 3 months since I came out and made the you know, statement that I was supporting Donald Trump publicly. And like I said, I think the main reason why most people don't like him, and I say this is for all races, is because he's not a politician. And you're so used to being suckered by the politicians, you know, savvy and ability to speak and all of that. You know what I mean? And y'all got somebody that's finally real, that says whatever the hell he wants, and y'all are criticizing him. Because you're used to being lied to. You're used to being entertained. Like it's crazy. Y'all fall for anything. More fake news.
At his first appearance of the day, the president announced his own press conference.
I'll see you 12 o'clock if you want.
It was intended to be about a new cabinet appointment. but nothing Washington has seen in recent years prepared it for what followed in the East Room of the White House. It began with an all-out assault on the press and the widespread narrative that this presidency is adrift.
The press has become so dishonest that if we don't talk about it, we are doing a tremendous disservice to the American people.
And that's how I feel. And people will ask me, well, what is your motive? Like, what are your intentions? This is my intention. I would be doing a disservice to all people, not just my people, but to black people, but all people, if I knew the information that I knew and I didn't expose it to the public. I'd be doing a tremendous disservice. I'm for the people, man. I don't care about race.
Tremendous disservice. We have to talk about it to find out what's going on, because the press honestly is out of control. The level of dishonesty is out of control. I turn on the TV, open the newspapers, and I see stories of chaos. Chaos. Yet it is the exact opposite.
Have you ever heard a president say that? He opened up the newspaper and it was chaos. And it was all fucking a lie, fabrication, hoax. Come on, man. And y'all say, why do I support Donald Trump? For all of you that want to call me a conspiracy theorist, for all the things that I've exposed as being fake news and hoax, and you want to ask me why I actually support the man that validates it. Not only is it a man that validates it, but it's the president of the United States. Who else has more of a knowledge and understanding than the president? He knows everything. And that's why I support him 100% now. Because it was hard for me to support him, 100%, because I'm like, man, there's no way he should be letting this fake shit get out. There's no way. This shit is fake. It didn't happen. Like, why isn't the president coming out and saying it? And then I started doing my research, and I'm like, he is saying it. It's just the media is not showing you. Big difference.
This administration is running like a fine-tuned machine.
Facts.
He then made a series of extraordinary comments on Russia, including speculating on what impact it would have on his approval rating if he attacked a Russian naval vessel that is currently sailing close to U.S. waters.
The greatest thing I could do is shoot that ship that's 30 miles offshore right out of the water. Everyone in this country is going to say, oh, it's so great. That's not great. That's not great. I would love to be able to get along with Russia.
He then ventured into the territory of a U.S.-Russian nuclear war.
I've been briefed, and I can tell you one thing about a briefing that we're allowed to say, because anybody that ever read the most basic book can say it. Nuclear holocaust would be like no other. They're a very powerful nuclear country, and so are we. If we have a good relationship with Russia, believe me, that's a good thing.
And no doubt to the concern of allies, Trump continued to extol the virtue of being unpredictable.
Military. And I don't talk about certain other things. You're going to be surprised to hear that. And by the way, my whole campaign, I'd say that. Right. So I don't have to tell you. I don't want to be one of these guys that say, yes, here's what we're going to do. I don't have to do that.
Exactly.
I don't have to tell you what I'm going to do in North Korea. Wait a minute. I don't have to tell you what I'm going to do in North Korea. And I don't have to tell you what I'm going to do with Iran. You know why? Because they shouldn't know.
And that's the biggest thing. You don't know because no one's telling you. But instead of doing the work and figuring it out yourself, you just assume that it's not real, it's not happening. Just because you haven't been told about it. This man has been sitting with this in his back pocket. He knew about this stuff before he was even elected. But because you don't know about it, or because you're not hearing about it from mainstream media, it's a conspiracy theory. That's sad, man. That is so sad.
At his first appearance...
Let me get out of here. So I'm going to pull up If Donald Trump is racist, he's doing a terrible job. Terrible job. The biggest thing I like about Donald Trump is that he ain't out here pandering for the black vote. You ain't got JC doing concerts. He ain't walking around talking about how much he loves hot sauce, which was the most disrespectful thing that I have ever heard for a person that is running for office to say, oh, and I love my hot sauce. I keep my hot sauce in the purse. And y'all let her get away with that. That was the most disrespectful thing I've ever heard from a person running for office. And y'all let her get away with that, man. He's creating opportunities for African Americans that hasn't been seen in decades. I mean, he has the economy booming right now, man. Booming. You know what I'm saying? His whole stance on immigration wasn't just to, put more strict boundaries and regulations to immigrants, but to also stop them from coming over here and stealing our jobs. And who are most hit by that? Who are most affected by these Mexicans coming over here and working for crumbs and basically taking away our jobs? Black people are most affected. Young black males. At what point am I supposed to stop being racist? I mean, at what point am I still supposed to stop looking at him as being a racist? I'm just curious. Because it's not about race for me. So coming in objectively, I'm just trying to figure out why I shouldn't support this man. Historical levels of unemployment for African Americans. 5.9%, which is the lowest since it's been since 1972. And before you sheeple get on here and say, oh yeah, it was started by Barack Obama. Well, guess what? It was finished by Donald Trump. If it was going in that direction, he not only continued it, but he put his foot on it. He stomped it at the throat, at the neck. Can you be mad at him? So you trying to tell me that it couldn't easily have gone the opposite way? It could have easily, leveled out and not continued to decrease. So that was just come on, man. You can't look at his policies and look at how many jobs he created and not give that man his credit for that. The man has created millions of jobs. Millions. 4 years. But y'all still stuck on race, though. And I got ahead of myself, but that's the truth. His stance on immigration directly affects African Americans' ability to find jobs. And this is just a demographic and how he closed the gap between Hispanic and white and black and white. Well, I'm sorry. He closed the gap between black and white unemployment, and then it shows you a comparison between Hispanic and white. Look at that. Look where we were at. Just say in, what would you say that's maybe like 2005? Look at that. We were almost at 9%, 8%, and now we're at what? 2%? Maybe 3%? That doesn't mean anything? It means a hell of a lot to me. For someone that's so racist, sure seems like he's continuing to close the gap. I tell people all the time, man, turn off the TV. Turn off the TV. People ask, when did you start discovering this type of information? Like, what led you to, having this perspective? It's when I stopped watching TV. I mean that shit, man. I've always been a critical thinker. I think that's always been part of my personality. I've always been someone that liked to debate. So I like to, I like to find information and to debate that information. But I was less and less controlled once I stopped watching television. And the biggest reason why I don't watch television is because I guard the information I take in. No matter if it's entertainment, no matter if it's, politics, news, whatever, I'm very cautious of what I take in. So my mind and my body isn't all over the place with emotions about different issues that mean nothing, that are lies, that are fake news, that didn't happen, false narratives, fake stories, fake crimes, fake shootings. I mean, you name it. It's all fake, okay? Real news don't make the news.